Taco basement dwelling, non-financial advising taco lord. I know a guy like that. Thank you for all the entertainment. You're welcome. You provided for us over the years. Remember the goal? Good. Remember the good old days when you used to wear a shirt and a tie on camera? Now we're lucky if you wear pants. Not wearing them now. I'll never forget the glory days of summer of 95. I feel like that's like the beginning of a rock song of like summer of 69. When Ice Age was out and Magic was taking over the world, playing every day, tournaments every weekend. Those were the fun times. Back in the days, alpha cards were going for far less than beta cards due to not being legal. I know, right? You could pick up Alpha Lotus for $100. If only we knew, right? Yeah, that's true. Nobody wanted alpha cards. Alpha cards for most of Magic's history. Out of almost the 30 years Magic's been around. Is it really been that long? 93, 03, 20, jeez. For almost the 30 years Magic's been around, I mean, essentially, probably 25 of those 30 years, Alpha was cheaper. Nobody really wanted one. Beta was kind of the go-to tier. So we're going to look at some old cards today, folks. A couple important things. If you have old cards to sell, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. Pictures and prices. As of right now, still buy prices are still about the same, between 60 and about 70 cents on the dollar, which is pretty much the same as most buy lists and most things depending on condition. Cover your shipping if you're in the US, and obviously everything you see in this video is not for sale, but more informational and for us to look at and enjoy. So keep that in mind, folks. If anybody's posing as me, acting like they're selling you cheap out ABU cards, that's obviously a scam. If anyone's commenting and responding to you with contact me on my Tenders profile, backroom, basement, back page, front page, Silk Road, it's probably a scam. So that's about it. But yeah, keep in mind, you want to be on the channel, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. Still averaging about that 69% of eBay sold pricing, which is 60 to 70% of eBay pricing. Is pretty much still what the buy price is on these old cards. I still prefer raw instead of graded, obviously. All right, let's get into this, folks. Let's have some fun, shall we? So right out of the gate here, we got one alpha, one beta, Bolt de la Light. Not much to say. Can't believe how much these stupid things cost for a common card. I don't know, is what it is. You know, every time I show a card like that, the first thing people do is, boom, I knew it. Rudy proved it. Reserve list doesn't matter. Lightning Bolt proves that theory that it doesn't matter. I feel like every time I show like a Birds or a Bolt or a Land of War, like I feel like that's the first thing people are going to. All right, anyways. Pretty much, I do think they're going to continue to rise. Even being a common in alpha and beta, even with an alpha common with a print run of what, 10,000 or something, I still think they're going to rise in value. All right, next we got a couple alpha rares. These are like my favorite obsession. I love non-mainstream, non-high-end, non-super playable. Rudy, the cockatrice. The cock is always playable. Stop, you guys. This is a professional channel. Look at the wolves eyeballing that cock. I see it over there. They're going to ring that bell. Those wolves are going straight for that cock. Stop it! All right. These are always my favorite ABU rares. Because they're not super mega, like $10,000 expensive, like high-end power, chase cards and duels and gauntlets and everything. But, you know, these little bizarre alpha beta black border rares are just my favorite. If you have those and you don't want them and you want to be remembered on the internet forever for selling them to a guy in a basement, those are my favorite, man. Now we do have more of a very expensive top tier here. We do have an alpha copy artifact. Very, very cool card. Absolutely amazing. Really cool. Not gem minty. Definitely not going to get a nice graded thing or anything. Got a couple spots there. We got little chips along the edges. Beautiful card, man. Love alpha. I cannot believe how much an alpha copy is now. Absolutely crazy. I remember thinking these things for like $500 back in the day were expensive. All right, next we have a here's another, here it comes. Reserveless is a lie. Roar, meow. I don't know why I just meowed. I'm sorry, I'm a cat. 4 alpha counterspells. You know, for the longest time, I thought counterspells were a common. I mean, maybe in newer sets they've reprinted it in a common or common slot, and maybe a master or a specialty secret layers. You know, Rudy's stepmom, ex-girlfriend or something. But alpha counterspells, very, very expensive cards. Some of these are pretty nice. This one's actually pretty nice. Nice little light play. Some of these are a little rougher. This one, I think this one looks like the worst. I'm seeing some serious, almost looks like a shuffle. Yeah, this one's probably really the worst on here. But very, very cool cards. Again, same thing. These type of, I hate perfect fit sleeves. I know. Rudy approves. They're common. They're not reserve list, and they're like over $1,000, and they can get like 5,000 plus if they're gem minty. I know. That's, people argue that with reserve list. Here we go again. This is, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This was the biggest reason I wanted to work with this guy to buy this collection. This right here is the biggest reason. No, not because somebody scribbled on my girl over here, but it is what it is. So we have 2 alpha Serras and a beta Serra. Absolutely stunningly beautiful condition. This one is truly almost packed fresh. Holy crap. That one is gradable. This beta one does look gradable. This one looks a little rougher with a signature. 3 alpha beta Serras. I mean, I feel like we should just take a picture here and make that the screenshot. I mean, just absolutely amazing. Now we have a little brick of some miscellaneous, infamous Twiddle Time Volt. Every time I see Twiddle, you can never unsee Time Volt. We've got the Candelabra, which this guy claims was actually, this was like his favorite card. And Candelabra, this was a fun fact of Rudy's childhood. This was actually one of the first, if not the first, I think it was the first or second, or maybe in the same time. I bought an Antiquities Workshop. The Antiquities Workshop was $20, and the Candelabra was $15, I think it was. And of course, back in the day, you always had like $5 shipping, and I think I bought from some online company like Paul and Judy's coinsandcards.com, some company that's never even nowhere near in business anymore. And I remember like sending in like a check, and I had to wait a week for the check to clear, and it took like a month to get I bought like a coffin, a Candelabra, and like a workshop or something. I think it was like $70 shipped or something. And it was, my parents thought I was crazy, and I had to wait like a month to get it. Good times, folks. Candelabras. All right, so we got a nice little blend here. Look at this. So first, we got 2 more alphas. A lot of gorgeous alphas. This is really kind of the cream of this deal here, was just the alpha cards. Uncommon Oriflame and a gorgeous Dark Ritual. Neither one reserve list. Both very sought after. Obviously, original printings. Dark Ritual's probably been reprinted almost more times than any other card ever. Maybe except Evolving Wilds. I see you all out there. I know you guys are buying out all the Evolving Wilds. I'm on to you. Mana Drain from the old Legendaroos. And Ice Storm, a card that just is green land destruction. I know, right? Go figure. Green land destruction. 3 graded cards. Not really super mega high grade where it's like super premiums or anything. So I kind of treat, when you see a card that's graded like a 7 or a 6, it's essentially a raw light played card. I mean, if you look at the card, sorry, the reflection's terrible. You'll have little chips and little nicks all the way down it. It's just a light played card. It's all it is. And that's one of the reasons why I really dislike dealing with graded cards that are usually around 7, 7.5. People are like, Rudy, it says near mint. I want gem mint pricing. I was like, bro, this is nowhere near gem mint. Like, if this was a raw card, most big stores would ding you right down to LP, SP, or just straight up played. And I wish you guys could, sorry, I know the reflection on these things are terrible. Anyways, this one had a nice alpha force field. I may end up cracking the case, I'm not sure. Now, this is a little bit nicer. Now, 8.5, when you get 8.5 and above, it actually starts to become good quality. Alpha Mana Short, I love the card. Don't really care about the grade or back. Again, I may just break it and just add it to the Rudy Volt. Love the card. Now, of course, obviously, gold labels, 9.5. And of course, oh my god, it's not a quad. It's only 3.95 minus 1. It's 4 quad minus 1 quad. It's only 3.9. I don't really care. It's a cool card. Personal Incarnation used to be the cheapest, most useless card, according to most people, for the longest time. I mean, even the Alpha Personal Incarnations, when I bought my, 15, 20 Alpha Personal Incarnations raw back in like 2012 to 2015, I think those things were like $20, $30 a piece raw for an Alpha Rare. Nobody wanted that thing. And I'll be honest with you all, I didn't really care about the card. I loved the artwork. There was like a phase when, I don't know what it was, but I just thought the artwork was just with the wizard and like this crazy guy summoning this avatar looking dude, and it kind of like a symbolism and with the card. I think it's just I like the flavor of the card, but I don't like really the card itself that much. That was always my thing. Actually, one of my favorite actual white cards from that Alpha Beta era, believe it or not, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this, is actually Island Sanctuary and Righteousness. Those were actually the 2 Alpha Beta rares that were my favorite. Like, if I do another Rudy from the Vault God Book Alpha thing, and I do the white cards, you'll see like Alpha Island Sanctuaries, which again, print run just over 1,000 for Alpha. people, I believe there's less than half left in the world. And I think I may have like 20 to 30 of the Alpha Island Sanctuaries. And I loved the card. I love the card. And, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I always just thought there was some shenanigans that somebody was someday going to use something special with the Island Sanctuary. Obviously, it never really came to fruition, but I still absolutely love the card and the artwork and just the feel of it. And Righteousness was the other Alpha card that I just really... I just always thought for the 1-drop, to pump like a 1/1 all the way up to an 8/8 was just so surreal for how cheap it was. Because you guys got to remember back in the day, the power creep situation was very different than it is today. So like for me, when I saw 1 mana to turn literally take a 1/1 Benelish hero, and I'd be blocking a flippin' crawl worm or something, and I'd righteousness of 1/1 to an 8/8. And you take down a giant crawl worm was kind of like a big deal back in the 90s era for me, at least, and I was terrible at the game, and I just enjoy it. I didn't really care about winning or losing. Anyways, so that's today's kind of conversation. Really cool. Not a huge dramatic video here, not like hundreds of thousands of dollars, but even then, no joke, folks, like, let's put the camera here. Sorry, I kind of just threw the cards everywhere. But just no joke, just even something as simple as like this little lot of like, what is this, like 20 cards or something? This little lot of cards here, I mean, this probably has a retail value in this market of like 20 grand. No joke. No joke. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, just even this little lot of cards, I paid the gentleman, I paid the guy, what did I pay the guy? $15,000? Just for, the value of these cards has moved so much. It's quite surreal. It really is. And again, I still feel there's room to go higher, and that hurts to say because it's difficult to buy and it's difficult to come to deals with some of these rising numbers. But the opportunity and the strength and health of the market over the next 5, 10, 20 years is going to continue to march forward. Whether or not I like the price, I don't like the price, or I agree with the price or not, and that's just kind of how it is. There's many things. So, and again, to sum up the video, anything old, if it's old Magic or anything, and as long as it's a decent, attractive price, it's not above market price or full 100 cents on the dollar, if it's fair and attractive, I'm a sucker for a deal. And pretty much I'll buy any old card, except, everybody knows, except Summer Magic. No way on God's green earth will I ever buy a Summer Edgar Magic collection. And that always gets so many people. What? Why? What's going on? No, that's the only thing. That's why you never see on this channel all the contacts or anything to do with Summer Magic. Under no circumstances will I ever buy or showcase a Summer Magic collection or put money into Summer Magic due to just the basic principle of the people behind it, the people who deal in it, and just the market on those particular products. I want nothing to do with it. Other than that, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. Old cards. Yeah, that's really about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something today.